And our top story of the day, the battle of narratives in Parliament continues to peak. The BJP alleges a link between Congress MP Sonia Gandhi to George Soros, accusing her of hatching a conspiracy to destabilise India. The Congress, meanwhile, continues to corner the centre on the allegations against Gautam Adani in a US indictment report. Who's winning this war of perception? Here's the report.
It was a stormy Parliament session on Monday with both the Congress and BJP training guns at each other. Philanthropist billionaire George Soros and his alleged links to Congress resonated in the Rajya Sabha, with the BJP taking the fight straight to Sonia Gandhi.
George Soros के फंडिंग प्रोसेस से जो फोरम्स और जो फाउंडेशन प्रोपोगेट करते हैं, उसको यहाँ पर कांग्रेस का वरिष्ठतम नेता उनको उठाता है. कांग्रेस टूल बन रही है.
लीडर ऑफ द हाउस बोले, उन्होंने जो बोले वो सरासर झूठ है और वो खुद गद्दारी करते हैं और ब्रिटिशों के साथ उनके एजेंट बनके काम करते और देश के लिए जिनका कोई कंट्रीब्यूशन नहीं.
The BJP claims that former Congress President Sonia Gandhi is associated with an organization financed by Soros, alleging that she was co-president of the Forum of the Democratic Leaders in Asia Pacific Foundation. The BJP says that Sonia Gandhi was associated with an organization that has backed the idea of Kashmir as a separate nation, and that her chairmanship of the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation led to a partnership with the George Soros Foundation.
Whether it is Rahul Gandhi ji, Sonia Gandhi ji, or Shashi Tharoor ji, or anybody, I am not into any particular individual. What I am saying is, anybody found to be colliding with or working in tandem with anti-India elements must be countered unitedly by all political parties, in fact every citizen of India.
Outside Parliament, the Congress is keeping up the heat on the Adani issue. The Congress led a protest against the Modi government, demanding a joint parliamentary probe into the Adani issue. Members of Parliament Manikam Tagore and Saptagiri Sankar Ulaka posed as Prime Minister Modi and Gautam Adani, as leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha Rahul Gandhi indulged in some mock grilling.
और आजकल क्या हो रहा है भाई? मैं जो भी बोलता हूँ पार्लियामेंट क्यों नहीं चलने दे रहे हैं? हम सारे ऑपोजिशन को मतलब वो आदमी गायब है. ये बड़े सीरियस लग रहे हैं. कम बोलते हैं आजकल. थोड़ा टेंशन में है.
While the BJP has been accusing the Congress of hatching a conspiracy against India, the Congress has been countering with this cronyism charge.
कि जो कुछ घटनाएं जॉर्ज सोरेस, उनका ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और उनसे जुड़े हुए विदेशी संस्थान कर रहे हैं, वो भारत में अस्थिरता पैदा करने की एक देशद्रोह के समकक्ष साजिश है. अगर ऐसे लोगों के साथ आपका संबंध है तो मैं कांग्रेस के शीर्ष नेतृत्व से पूछना चाहता हूं, क्या आपका शीर्ष नेतृत्व देशद्रोहियों के साथ है?
This kind of diversionary tactics to save Adani is the story now. This past 3 days we can see that BJP don't want the parliament to function. They want the parliaments to be adjourned.
The United States has rejected the BJP's allegations that organizations funded by its State Department and elements in the American deep state were behind attempts to destabilize India.
Rajya Sabha Chairperson Jagdip Dhankar has now called for a meeting of senior leaders of opposition and government tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. We'll have to wait and watch what is going to happen tomorrow when both the houses resume. This is Piyush Mishra in Delhi for India Today.
All right, so we're going to wait and watch on what happens tomorrow. But for now, the BJP and the Congress are holding the Parliament to ransom with the Soros versus Adani narrative. The Congress continues to suggest that the BJP trying to save Adani and using diversionary tactics to attack the Congress and Sonia Gandhi and the Gandhis when it comes down to connection with George Soros. The BJP maintains all of this is a sinister conspiracy to destabilize India, with the Gandhis helming it back home here. Which of the two is it? And ultimately, in all this noise and political rhetoric, what's the proof? Let's cut across right now to our panelists this evening. Rohan Gupta, BJP spokesperson, is with us. Syed Nasir Hussain, Congress spokesperson. Rajat Sethi, political commentator. Rashid Kidwai, political analyst. Cutting across to Dr. Hussain, who's a Rajya Sabha MP himself. Dr. Hussain, let's come down to the latest charge. Now the BJP alleges that Ms. Sonia Gandhi, as the co-president of the Forum of Democratic Leaders in Asia Pacific Foundation, which is FDL-AP, is connected to a group backed by George Soros. Do you accept or deny these allegations?
First of all, how does that matter? Which group is connected to what? What are the allegations against Mr. Adani? What is the government trying to hide here? Why is the government trying to protect Adani so much? What is the relationship between Prime Minister Modi and Gautam Adani? What is the relationship between Gautam Adani and the BJP that is there in power? What has been done to see that there is an inquiry in all kinds of allegations that have been there in Adani, right from Hindenburg reports, 1, 2, 3, 4 reports, until now, where he has been indicted along with his brother in the US.
Okay. So you're saying it's all diversionary tactics, but questions have been posed, Dr. Hussain. No, you're saying
200%.
Okay.
200%.
So you're saying
200% it is diversion tactics.
Okay, so let me ask you that question again then. You've said what you had to say. We'll take this question to the BJP spokesperson. Does Ms. Sonia Gandhi have connection to this particular group which the BJP alleges is backed by George Soros?
Preeti, first of all...
No. This is for Dr. Hussain. I'll come to you, Rohan Gupta. Dr. Hussain, yes or no, sir?
What is that?
So the question I began with, which is, the BJP has alleged that there is a larger conspiracy to destabilize India. You've made your points on the Adani issue, calling it diversionary tactics. But they are now alleging that Ms. Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, is...
Yeah. What? How?
Yes. Make your point.
Yeah. I got your question. What is it that's destabilizing India's economy? What is anti-India in this? What is against the interests of India in this? What is that? See, here is a person who has violated all the laws in US, and the US government has indicted him, and there is clear-cut evidence. There are diaries, there are papers, there are bribery notes, which clearly says that Indian bureaucracy and politicians were bribed for getting the contracts for the money which Mr. Adani has raised in the US. And there is an open and shut case, and a FIR has been filed against them, and they have been directly indicted. So now, what is anti-India in this? What is anti-India? If somebody has violated the law of whether it is our country or some other country, he or she will be tried under that law. And when he is being tried, we should also, when there are allegations, when we are, as a country, when we are being embarrassed in the international forums, when we are being discredited in international
Dr. Hussain,
forums,
I will
not
go
only
to Rohan
about our
Gupta,
country, but also about our politics and also
you
the
made
governance.
those points, which I will take to the BJP counterpart. The question is again, because they are alleging there is a nexus, there is a link that Ms. Sonia Gandhi has been the co-chairperson of a group which is backed by George Soros. You don't want to address that question.
No, what is the issue, ma'am? What is the issue in front of the nation today? Is the issue whether Adani is indicted there? Is the issue that he has bribed Indian officials and politicians in India to get
you've said that, Dr. Hussain,
or the issue that somebody is funding some.
Okay.
Somebody is funding someone or not funding someone. Is that the issue? And what is anti-India in this? What is anti-India in this?
No, fair point. So even if she is the co-chairperson of that particular group, what is anti-India is what you're suggesting, and you've made your other points by which you call all of this diversionary tactics. Rohan Gupta, now let me draw you in. The fact is today you had Mr. Dhankar, where he said that he received 11 notices to raise the issue under Rule 267 of the Rajya Sabha to discuss rising threats to national security, to alleged nexus between a political party and some organizations working against India. But he said that the notices were all rejected because of zero hour. Is the government trying to create a perception and a narrative, especially through Parliament, Rohan Gupta? And there is a seemingly doubt in all of this because the opposition has been asking a debate about Mr. Adani, and the BJP has constantly been denying it. Now the perception which the opposition makes is that the BJP is trying every diversionary tactics in the book to save Gautam Adani.
Preeti, first of all, this cannot be coincidence that just before the first day of any parliament session, you will see that some foreign report comes and the opposition party latches on it and questions the government, and whole parliament is disrupted. The lots, crores of money of our investor goes in vain. Again, that cycle gets repeated. This is not new. We have been seeing this for the last 2 to 3 years. And this is the conspiracy, Preeti. How can you, this is about particular industry group. You have made accusations, let them answer. When you link it to BJP government, obviously you will also have to answer. What is the connection between Mr. George Soros and your party?
Now allow me to ask you a rebuttal, Rohan Gupta. Ultimately, we can keep talking about Soros versus Adani, who's trying to save who, who's aiding who, trying to destabilize India. All of this is hogwash. Ultimately, it will come down to proof. What is the proof that
Absolutely.
the BJP and the government has, which indicts the Gandhis, where you suggest trying to destabilize the country through the hand of 94-year-old George Soros, though the age there completely irrelevant? What's the proof?
Absolutely, you asked a very relevant question. When you talk about proof, the same time when you are talking about proof, when this party accuses BJP with ties with Adani, they will also have to give the proofs. There are 4 state governments. The alleged report, what Congress party is saying, there are 4 state governments. One of them was the Congress party government. You tell me what action is to be taken against the officials.
So the Congress can't furbish proof of the BJP association with Adani, therefore you can't furbish proof, so both of it is just narratives being spun.
We have produced the record today, how that OCCRP is connected with Congress party, how it is associated with Congress party leaders.
Allow me now. Rohan Gupta, you're flashing the proof, but allow me now. Rohan Gupta, have you heard of Mediapart?
Absolutely.
Have you heard of Mediapart? Right?
Yes.
Let's pull out the latest statement. And have you heard what Mediapart has said?
Yes, you tell me. Yes, I can see the statement.
You can see the statement, which is basically Mediapart that conducted the investigation for OCCRP has come out and said that this is a concerted effort of the Bharatiya Janata Party to completely misconstrue this entire report. It did not mean anything which the BJP is trying to construe, sir. Number one.
Again, Preeti,
yes, make your point.
I would like to answer that. I would like to show you one report where Mr. Mark Mobius clearly says this is not the jurisdiction of US Department to talk about any foreign company and made acquisitions. So at the same time, you have to see both the things together, right?
Which two things,
My question here is, Preeti,
no, what are you saying?
Any allegations is made, let me complete.
Sir, the point that you just made, can you say that again? What's the point that you made?
Mr. Mark Mobius, he is the chairman of Mobius Emerging Opportunity Fund, one of the biggest US funds. He clearly says that US Justice Department has no purview of making any accusation of the any foreign company.
What's the point of all of this? What's the point of all of this? Everybody can quote some. Okay, one second.
Can you allow me to complete, please?
Please make your point.
This is not done, right? You are not allowing me to complete.
Sir, make your point.
You gave enough time to Congress. No, Preeti. If you allow me to complete, you will get the answer. You are not allowing me to complete. The point here is when you are talking about accusations, at the same time there is counter argument being made. If any department, any foreign department makes accusations against Adani, it is for them to answer. And if we use that accusation also, there are 4 state governments, out of which none of us call BJP government. So you also don't have evidence when you question BJP government. So, it is upon that company to answer the accusations.
Fair point. So that's the question which I asked Rohan Gupta.
Allow me to complete now. Please allow me 30
Make
seconds.
your point,
I request
sir.
30 seconds from you.
Yeah.
Are there 2 separate Adanis? Is Adani different in Telangana? Is Adani different in Delhi? Is Adani different in Rajasthan? Is Adani different in Chhattisgarh? Why double standards? When Congress party was in power, more than 1 lakh crores of contracts were given to Adani. When there was it was not bad. So my point here is, Preeti, any opposition party which has, you have to be little responsible. Anybody in foreign country acquisition your own company, if there are
Sir, unfortunately, I've lost you.
Definitely, you should go with that.
Okay.
If acquisitions are made, you should give chance to that company to prove. If those acquisitions are proved right, definitely you have asked right to go to government and tell that, okay, we want inquiry. So, but just on the basis of acquisition, somebody puts acquisition on anybody, you attack government, that is not the way.
Rohan Gupta, okay, let me bring in our two other guests. The larger question that I'm asking is, because you're saying they don't have proof, so therefore, the answer is not that we have proof. Okay, I'm going to come back to Dr. Hussain. Allow me to bring in we have two other guests. Allow me to bring them into the debate and I'll come right back to you, Dr. Hussain. But Rashid Kidwai, the fact is the Congress does find itself isolated in all of this because this has become a Congress issue. And in turn, what it's done is by isolating itself, it's distanced its allies and started this entire, different narrative which the Congress could have avoided right now, which is the TMC, the SP and its other India allies completely turning around and saying that the Congress is incapable and selfish and should not lead the India bloc alliance. There is a fallout of all of this somewhere.
So Preeti, there's a theater of the absurd that is going on. Mr. Rohan Gupta, my good friend, is saying on record that whatever is happening vis-a-vis, the allegations against Sonia Gandhi and the Congress is a response to the Congress allegations against a particular business house and its alleged proximity with the ruling dispensation. Now, this is a level of the discourse. See, the opposition is a divided house, Preeti. We know that, the India alliance is as good as over, whether they admit it or not. But that does not mean that the ruling party, and imagine, Preeti, that, ministers, Parliamentary Affairs Minister is leveling, or other ministers are leveling an allegation based on a portal. That portal has not been updated since 1990s. Gorbachev, Desmond Tito, several people, world leaders are dead and gone. There is nothing that, links Sonia Gandhi with any statement or any other thing on Kashmir for any issue, or whether she attended any of those meetings or not. But the Congress line of defense is also not to bring these aspects on the public domain. Rather, they would go on attacking and mentioning that this is what is a diversionary tactics. So therefore, I think it is a very sad commentary on the Indian Parliament and those people who have been elected, that they're behaving in such a bizarre and irresponsible manner.
All right, okay, I want to bring in Rajat Sethi into this conversation. Rajat Sethi, ultimately it also is a complete washout of the winter session. But having said that, Rajat Sethi, couple of points there. Because, the whole narrative which has been spun around OCCRP, and now you have the media part giving out the explanation it has, which Rohan Gupta did not touch on. And the second part also, Rajat, is where the government also said that there was involvement of deep state where it came down to certain arms of the US government. And now today you have the US embassy giving out a statement which deeply states that the US government works with independent organizations on programming that supports professional development, and nowhere is the OCCRP being part of a deep state operation. How does the BJP justify all of this?
Well, this is all bumkum. I mean, why do we give too much weightage to an outgoing administration? You see, Trump is going to come back, and let me give an apolitical response. Trump is going to go after George Soros, and don't cut a sorry picture that he's a 94-year-old, ailing old man.
Well, that's
irrelevant. He has 3 sons. No, he has 3 sons, and institutions outlive individuals. He has parked enough capital, his own personal money, behind certain causes. One of the victims of Soros-oriented politics is Bangladesh, as we speak. And he's pretty candid and open about it. The entire organization actually is pretty open about its objectives. It is exporting liberal democracy around the world. It's a stated objective of the entire. And his 3 sons are carrying on the tradition of his father. Let's see what Trump unfolds. That's number one. Again, my point is very basic, and let's not even get into the politics of it, because the entire parliament session has been ruined because of these outside India's factors which have controlled and derailed the agenda. First thing is that the Congress should keep in mind, and the BJP also, that do not try to subcontract your politics to outsiders. Do not try to connive with people where there is going to be conflict of interest of one kind or the other kind, and the opposition of that party is going to get an opportunity to go after you. This is what Sonia Gandhi did. There were certain monetary considerations involved, and then the dots are on the plane, and anybody can connect the dots
but Rajat
the way they want to do it.
Because the dots are on the paper, like you suggest, the dots are on the paper, it would be, I would think, the best time to draw the line through those dots and make it public, because ultimately, in midst of all this rhetoric, it comes down to proof. Where is the proof that the Gandhis have been spearheading an anti-India campaign in India?
Well, the first thing that is going to happen is Rahul Gandhi's own citizenship. Supreme Court has put a deadline on that. So those cases are going to come. So you are going in for a lot of head-on-head with both Congress and BJP, trying to fight out these cases in the court. See, ultimately, the only mistake that I see for Congress is that they should trust Indian institutions more than foreign institutions. They should follow the due process of Indian law and the Indian rule of law. They should have some trust on that. Get some evidences through your OCCRP network, bring those evidences and table them before the Supreme Court. You did the same thing before Rafale. It's not about Adani or DLF or Tata or Reliance. It is about following the due process of law.
Fair point.
The problem is that why did Congress, by the way, Congress did go into the courts with Rafale. And Rafale case, the Supreme Court shut it down because there were no corroborative evidences at all. The real reason, the real politics here is Congress does not want to go to the court because it won't stand a single day.
But
so
that's the irony.
Carry on with the theatrics.
But that's the irony, because you bring up OCCRP and you bring up Rafale. Let's hark back to what happened in Rafale. The same OCCRP was quoted by possibly every BJP leader at that point of time. It happened. Anyway,
politicians are meant to. Politicians
so exactly.
Are meant to
so good for the gander, good for the goose. Exactly. So it cuts both ways. My point. Okay.
Absolutely. Ultimately, you go to the Indian courts.
Okay, one second.
Don't
Dr.
ask
Hussain.
OCCRP to judge.
Dr. Hussain, I want to bring you back into this conversation. You've been wanting to respond to Rohan Gupta. But Dr. Hussain, the fact is, the question that I asked Rashid Kidwai, let me take that question to you. Would you reckon somewhere down the line, you have isolated yourself on the Adani issue, especially from your own allies, sir?
See, I want to make 2-3 points here. Point number one is, we are a different political party. There are different opposition parties. All opposition parties did not toe the line of any other political party. We have certain things in common. We fight for certain things which we believe that we should fight for. On certain issues, one or two parties may not join hands, or one or two parties may have different stand on for their own understanding of things. But the point here is, now Mr. Rohan Gupta was saying 4 states are involved. He was saying Congress ruled states are involved. See, that's what we are saying. Congress ruled states, Congress chief ministers, opposition ruled states, Indian bureaucracy. What we are asking is, let there be a thorough inquiry in this entire issue. India is being discredited. Our governance is being challenged. Our systems are being discredited. So why are we afraid of having a thorough probe in this? Why don't we have a JPC in this? Why are you running away from JPC? Why are you so scared about Adani issue in Parliament? It is not just about Hinderman report now. Now there's a clear-cut case. There have been raids on these companies. There have been evidences found. There have been bribery notes. There's an FIR against these people. So why are you so scared about having an inquiry into that? Let the Congress chief minister be indicted. Let the bureaucrats be indicted in that. Let the truth come out. This is not for the first time that JPC is being formed in such kind of things. So why are we worried about Mr. Adani? So let us face the truth today, that he has been indicted, that there have been cases against us. Let the let there be a JPC, let there be, and in the JPC, majority will be from the majority party. So why are you scared about it? Why are you running away about it? And what is so anti-India about probing a businessman?
Okay, all right.
Why do you bring nationalism here? Our true nationalism is that we shouldn't get discredited. Our system shouldn't get discredited. Our governance shouldn't get discredited. That is
Preeti,
true
I'd like to answer that.
Protecting
I'm
one
coming to you only.
corrupt
Allow him to finish. I'll come to you in very
businessman
equal
is
time.
not nationalism.
All right, okay. Rohan Gupta, we spoke about Mediapart, the statement that has come in there where OCCRP was concerned. Sir,
and I'll tell you, just 1 second.
Sir,
just
10
1
seconds.
Just 1 second, ma'am. And I'm telling you, see, the other day I was speaking in the parliament on the aircraft bill. I mentioned there, against the wishes of Niti Aayog and against the wishes of Finance Ministry, 6 airports were given to one person.
Okay, so let there be an investigation is what you're saying. Okay.
Should come out.
All right. Okay, Rohan Gupta, I want to bring you in. Okay,
Preeti,
Rohan Gupta, I want to bring you in on this. We spoke about the Mediapart statement. Now, you also know that the US has called it to court. Disappointing that the ruling party in India would make these kinds of accusations. You might say it's an outgoing government, bought it. Number 2, ultimately, Rohan Gupta, the fact is very clear because leave alone of having an investigation, the perception that the opposition says you're trying to build is you don't even want to have a discussion on it. Why is the government hell-bent on not having a discussion, and why is it trying to hide on, or maybe, allow no discussion when it comes to Mr. Gautam Adani? What's the Congress is trying to suggest that there is a quid pro quo.
No, absolutely. Preeti, this is the core question what you have asked. See, it is not about any company. It is about the propaganda on which Congress party is playing. This is same OCCRP. When Hindenburg happened, they came out with the report. What happened finally? Lakhs and crores of the investors, they lost money. Nothing came out. These are all short sellers. You know that Hindenburg is a company where they are short sellers. They spread this news. They earn money and go out. So this is what is Congress party is doing. I produced the evidence also. You show me one document. I challenge Congress party to show one document where she says that Modi government and Adani, they are together. All the contracts in India, they pass through the due diligence. You question, you come with the proper documents, you come with the proof and then allegate government. Absolute no issue. This is Mr. Salil, who is the director in OCCRP, is working with Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Bharat Jodo Yatra. These are all the documents which clearly shows how George Soros organization and Congress parties, they are connected. Because they are playing to the tune of foreign forces. They don't have evidences. That is the problem here. If the intention of government is the intention of opposition party is good, they couldn't have asked for the things like the way they are doing right now. That the intention of this government, the opposition is not good. That's why 4 state governments, the allegations against which were there, they should come out clean. It is their government. That's what I'm saying. This is pure propaganda. The whole country has ensured that Hindenburg propaganda is exposed.
Okay,
First
fair
go,
point. So
again,
if,
the
and
same
you're
thing
right,
is
because
happening.
even in the...
Last thing, Preeti. Last thing.
Make your point.
It is the 10 seconds. The outgoing government, they know which agenda they are playing. There are 4 funds of US. They have clearly told that US department has no right to question. So you should answer that also. If you are believing one news,
Rohan Gupta, Dr. Hussain has a fair point. Rohan Gupta, Dr. Hussain does have a fair point when he says, agreed, that 4 of the states, which is the Adanis have been indicted in the bribery case, are where the Congress and the opposition is involved. So why not have an investigation?
Absolutely. It should happen when this accusation, anybody should be given chance to answer on the accusations. They have made the accusations. Let Adani reply on that. And after that, if they are found guilty, definitely this government will
take action. No, but then that's so weird, Gupta, because at one end you say you don't trust the US authorities. You don't trust the US authorities, you say. Then the second thing you're saying is let them decide. Let them decide whether Adani is guilty and then we will take action. Either you trust them or you don't trust them.
Anybody for the law of justice, when the accusations are made, they should be given a chance to reply. Hindenburg, you tell me.
But sir, that's the problem. Okay, fine. Let me get in closing comments. Rashid Kidwai, will this, there are 2 narratives which are playing. Who do you think is actually going to come back? And, if I can say win, because if you looked at Rafale when it went down the last time around, who got ahead on that was very clear.
I think Preeti, courage of conviction is missing. You look at here, the BJP spokesperson almost indicting his own government. He's saying he seems to have some evidence of some alleged anti-national activities. But Mr. Amit Shah, Prime Minister Modi, Finance Minister, DRI, ED, CBI, RAW, they are not doing anything at all. This government has been there for 10 years. So something that had happened in 1990s, the government has not taken note, and one day it has woken up and it is now, crying foul without producing any amount of evidence. So I think this is a very telling commentary on the political system that we are having.
Okay. Rajat Sethi, if it's come down to such a pass, why not have a discussion in Parliament?
To what end? Do you think both the parties are going to come to some kind of a illuminated discussion on this? Ultimately, if you really want justice, you have to go to the Indian courts. Period. There cannot be two doubts about it. The thing is that why is Congress party, if at all they have genuine evidences or they can borrow some of the evidences from the US State Department, they can put in a written request that we are looking for and we want to indict Adani Group here. See, again, I'm saying the question is not about Adani, DLF, Tata, Reliance whatsoever.
Okay.
Problem is due process. You need to follow the process of the land. Okay. Do not bow down before the US institutions, because you will not get justice from the US institutions alone. Okay. You have to go through the Indian systems, and you are part of that system for 60 to 65 long years. Okay. You have nourished, you have appointed judges and done all kinds of things. So you have been pretty used to, the Congress ecosystem has been pretty used to dealing with the institutions. Okay. Why are you not trusting Indian institutions?
All right. Okay.
That remains the moot point. Otherwise, everything else is drama.
All right, and that could be, a piece of advice for both the BJP and the Congress this time around. 20 seconds, Dr. Nasir Hussain, 20 seconds, sir, and 20 seconds, Rohan Gupta. Go ahead, sir. Dr. Hussain.
Sir, we are having a very limited focus, very limited demand from this government. There are allegations against a businessman. India is being abused. India की बदनामी पूरी दुनिया भर में हो रही है. Our governance is under attack. Our bureaucratic system is under attack. So we need to have a proper investigation. Okay. This is not the first time that anybody is asking for a JPC, or it is not the first time that JPC is being constituted. JPC is also a process. Having discussion in the House is also a process. Whether it is George Soros or whether it is Adani, please allow a discussion in the House. Let the country watch it.
All right, Rohan Gupta, 20 seconds, sir. Make your point.
See, Preeti, opposition party, they are playing at the tune of foreign forces. They have lost their reliability locally in all the states, and now when they don't have any evidences, they always disturb Parliament. Okay. Just before 2 days of any session, you will find new report and they want discussion on that. They have completely lost credibility. Anybody making accusations against anybody, let them prove. Once the proof is that, definitely action should be taken. I am with the opposition party. But till that time, just using it politically, you don't have anything. And you cannot have two double standards. Telangana, there is a different Adani. In Delhi, there is different Adani. You have completely lost your face. You have completely lost trust of people.
I'm going to end the debate, though I doubt if it's going to end where Parliament is concerned, with at least the theatrics that we see on television. Waste of taxpayers' money, viewers. Once again, let me tell you, every minute that the Parliament doesn't function costs the taxpayers 2.5 lakhs. Factor that in. Thank you, our panelists, for joining us. Let's quickly now spin over to our other big face-off. And all of that coming in from Delhi, which is going to elections in just about a month and a half. The countdown has begun of State of War Delhi. The Aam Aadmi Party today released its second list of candidates for the Delhi elections. And out of the 20 candidates named, 14 new faces have been brought in. Remember, AAP is facing 10 years anti-incumbency. So, in a big shake-up, Manish Sisodia's constituency of Patparganj has been changed. Sisodia, who narrowly won in 2020, will now be fighting from Jangpura seat in South Delhi. Educationist Awadh Ojha, who joined Aam Aadmi Party just last week, will fight from Patparganj now. Ojha is a Purvanchali face, and Patparganj has a sizable Purvanchali population. A full-blown poster war, meanwhile, erupted over the Aam Aadmi Party's list, with the BJP calling Manish Sisodia a bhagoda or a runaway.
मुझे पटपड़गंज की जिम्मेदारी दी थी, मैं पटपड़गंज में लड़ा, वहाँ पे काम हुआ, दिल्ली भर में काम हुए. आज मुझे जंगपुरा की जिम्मेदारी दी है, उस पे काम होंगे. अब बीजेपी वाले कुछ भी कहते रहें, बीजेपी वालों की तमाम कोशिशों के बावजूद, इनकी तो कोशिश थी कि मैं पार्टी छोड़ के भाग जाऊं, इनकी तो कोशिश थी कि मैं अरविंद केजरीवाल जी का साथ छोड़ के भाग जाऊं, मैं दिल्ली का साथ छोड़ के भाग जाऊं. मैं 17 महीने जेल में रहा, लेकिन मैं छोड़ के नहीं भागा. मैं छोड़ के भागने वालों में से नहीं हूं. इनको मैं जंगपुरा में भी हराऊंगा, पटपड़गंज में भी हराऊंगा, पूरी दिल्ली में हराऊंगा. और मैं जब मैं कह रहा हूं तो मैं दिल्ली का आम आदमी बोल रहा हूं, मैं दिल्ली की आम आदमी पार्टी का एक कार्यकर्ता बोल रहा हूं.
मनीष सिसोदिया अगर सीट छोड़ के भाग रहे हैं, दिल्ली का उप मुख्यमंत्री अगर अपनी सीट बदल रहा है, एक भगोड़े की तरह व्यवहार कर रहा है, तो आप समझ लीजिए कि आम आदमी पार्टी की दशा क्या है. दिल्ली में पिछले 10 सालों में इनके विधायकों ने सिर्फ लूटने का काम किया, अरविंद केजरीवाल समेत. तो ये सब अब सीट छोड़ छोड़ लोग भागेंगे। विधायकों का टिकट काटा गया है। अरविंद केजरीवाल जब राजनीति में आए थे तो दो ही मुद्दों पे बात करते थे कि भ्रष्टाचार खत्म करेंगे, परिवारवाद खत्म करेंगे। भ्रष्टाचार में अरविंद केजरीवाल खुद जेल गए हैं और परिवारवाद का जो उदाहरण दिया है कि दो विधायकों के बेटों को टिकट दिया, तो आप समझ लीजिए कि अरविंद केजरीवाल की कथनी और करनी में कितना फर्क है।
All right, so this political face-off playing in national capital. Let's cut across to our panelists this evening. Rohan Gupta, Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson, is with us, and Jasmine Shah, Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson as well. Jasmine Shah, if everything is going as well as touted to by the Aam Aadmi Party, how is it that there was a need for the party to announce, of course, you've already announced 31 candidates, so you are in election mode, but cut multiple seats, cut multiple candidate tickets. Number one, where the Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, who used to fight from Patparganj, his seat has now also been changed. So clearly you are apprehensive. The anti-incumbency is biting somewhere.
Preeti, I find it quite funny that when BJP changes the tickets of a lot of its own people in several elections, I'm not talking about Delhi, be it at the national level or in the states, you'll recall 5 years back, or other 10 years back when they won MCD, they had changed almost 90% of their people. And everybody calls it a masterstroke when BJP does it. But when any other party does it, it's part of our strategy. Obviously, it's the party's prerogative. Then it suddenly raises question as to know what is wrong. So let me assure the people of Delhi and the people of the country, nothing is wrong. The people of Delhi are united in bringing back Mr. Kejriwal to the Chief Minister's seat. And, as part of a usual process, every party goes into the ground with a strategy. And, it's good. I mean, the party, there is heavy contestation for options. There are a lot of options that the Aam Aadmi Party has in every seat. And we are actually starting the electoral battle quite early on. Neither BJP or Congress seem to be keen on announcing seats, but Aam Aadmi Party has made the first move. And, as far as specifically you talked about Patparganj. So we know that just 1 week back, we had somebody like Mr. Awadh Oja, one of the most well-known UPSC teachers, a motivational speaker who joined the Aam Aadmi Party. And when people of this stature joined the party, then there was a conversation in the party as to, we should not make him sit on the side and watch the election. He should be fielded as a face. And then the question came, okay, where can he be fielded from? It was at that time that Mr. Sisodia said that, Patparganj could be a good option because that is the seat that has given birth to a new kind of education in Indian politics. People out there have supported good education.
Jasmine Shah, how much does it have to do with the fact that in 2020, that was also a seat which went down to the wire, even though you swept Delhi elections and Manish Sisodia won from the narrowest margins?
See, Preeti, in every election, you will see some seats which are won narrowly, some seats that are won by a larger margin. But if you look at the entire mood of Delhi, the last election, it was very clear. 62 out of 70 seats is as massive a margin that any other government has won. So I think it is more about a tactical call. The party is entitled to be strategic in its election. But the larger narrative, irrespective of who's fighting from where, the larger narrative is to bring back calm ki rajniti, to bring back Arvind Kejriwal, Manish Sisodia,
Gupta,
either way, one sympathy of the people of Delhi.
Many would suggest that at least the Aam Aadmi Party has announced candidates for 31 seats of 70. The BJP is far from even announcing one. At least the Aam Aadmi Party is in election mode.
Preeti, I think my friend was talking about Kaam ki Rajniti, but they indulge in Dam ki Rajniti. They promise development, they promise corruption-free Delhi, and after 10 years, the whole Delhi is watching that as far as development is concerned, there are no new projects at all. Preeti, all of us, we know what is the situation of corruption. All of us know that as far as development is concerned, it has gone for toss. At the other side, they have given in bonus the corruption, one of the biggest scandals of India, Parivarvad. Today's ticket declaration, you see, he was always fighting Parivarvad. तो उनका कांग्रेसीकरण हो चुका है. There is a frustration in Aam Aadmi Party. That's why they have to drop the MLAs. See, one thing is changing the constitution. They have to drop at least 13 of their MLAs. It clearly shows that anti-incumbency is there.
Rohan Gupta, do you know how many MLAs? One second, sir. Do you know how many MLA seats and tickets that you cut in Haryana? I can tell you.
See, I know that. I was there. Absolutely, there is nothing wrong in that.
Then that's the art of politics.
My point here is, out of 13, see, listen, there is a ratio, right, Preeti? I can understand as an anti-incumbency you have to do, but out of 20, if you have to cut 13, it speaks a lot. And you have to bring in other people from other party who you have been accused of Parivarvad and all, you are giving tickets to them. There is a difference between changing the candidates, and there is a difference between frustration, which is quite visible. So obviously, the way Aam Aadmi Party is completely derailed, everybody in Delhi who has seen Arvind Kejriwal's sheesh mahal, I challenge Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson to show the country the sheesh mahal which has been developed by Arvind Kejriwal, and people of Delhi will decide what is going to happen to Mr. Kejriwal. Aam Aadmi के नाम पे लूट के खास आदमी बने, दिल्ली की जनता माफ नहीं करेगी. आपने कहा he will be brought back as a CM. Then why you have appointed one other CM? You should have continued. Because आपको बंगला छोड़ना पड़ा, इसलिए आपने CM बदल दिया. So किसके फेस पे आप लड़ेंगे? You have appointed new CM. You have to tell the Delhi. But at the end of the day, Preeti, all the promises they have made to Delhi, they have completely failed. उन्होंने एक ही काम किया है कि अपनी फेलियर का जो है वो दूसरे को ऊपर डाला है. All their failures, other parties are responsible. हमको काम नहीं करने दी गया. जब पंजाब में they were not in power in Punjab, they were blaming Punjab government for Parali. Now they are in power in Punjab, they don't know whom to blame. So this blame game, this negative politics, country is fed up of Aam Aadmi Party politics, and I think Delhi will be the last nail in their coffin.
All right, but Rohan Gupta, just food for thought, that in Haryana, out of the Haryana cabinet, 30% of that cabinet was dropped by the BJP before
Absolutely, I'm saying that's a good ratio. That's what is wrong.
Just but the here cabinet, you see 75%. I'm not talking about MLAs. Not talking about MLAs. I'm just talking about the cabinet.
Preeti, every party, definitely when there is anti-incumbency, you should take that action. But 13 out of 20 is 65%. Not 30%.
All right, one second. Okay, I want to bring in Jasmine Shah back into this conversation. Jasmine Shah, the politics of the Aam Aadmi Party was supposed to push their own. What we are witnessing right now, and a lot of political analysts will suggest, you are doing exactly what the BJP does, which is winnability. For the first time in the history of Aam Aadmi Party politics in Delhi, I'm not talking about Punjab, we have actually seen the party taking leaders from the BJP, from the Congress. Everything is irrelevant. The only thing you're looking at is winnability.
That's not right. If you look at today's selection of around announcement of 20 candidates, the large majority of them are people who have always been in Aam Aadmi Party. And mind you, the 13 MLAs whose ticket was cut, who got the tickets? Sitting councillors of the Aam Aadmi Party. 90% of those tickets which were cut went to sitting councillors who have proven their connect on the ground, who have proven their work. So I think it's a bit of an unfair assessment, and let the dust settle. Eventually when the 70 seats are announced, you will see that eventually these are the people who have always been at the forefront. We've always maintained that good people from any party who want to work on the politics of development, who want to put education and healthcare and issues of people at the forefront of people's agenda are always welcome in the party. But when you talk about, Rohan Gupta, when you talk about politics of work, why do you run away from a debate on crime? Today, Delhi has become the crime capital, not just of India. I think it might become the crime capital of the world. The kind of extortion calls, bomb calls, open murders, kidnappings, you run away from talk. But, when it comes to questioning Aam Aadmi Party, you feel that, you have only right to question, but you never
last
answer
20 seconds to bring you in on this debate, and then we are going to close it, is the sheer fact 31 seats have been announced by the Aam Aadmi Party. Most of its leaders are on the campaign trail. The BJP right now, many would suggest, is twiddling their thumbs where this election is concerned.
Absolutely not. BJP has strong organization, Preeti. I am there in Delhi. We fight on the strength of organization. We fight on the people's feedback. And when there is one party who is not confident of win of their deputy CM, if he has to change the constituency, you can see writing on the wall. We will see that Delhi has decided that they are going to change. They don't want negative politics. They want people who can deliver. They want people who can work and contribute to the development rather than blaming others and just continuing their liquor scandals and other building up a sheesh mahal in the name of Aam Aadmi.
All right, I appreciate both of you for joining us. Thank you there. This is one battle that's going to heat up in days to come, and one hell of an interesting electoral battle it's going to turn out to be. With that, let's cut across to a story that's gone viral for all the wrong reasons. An Allahabad High Court sitting judge has triggered the biggest controversy. Justice Shekhar Kumar Yadav is now facing flack with people horrified for his openly communal remarks during an event organized by Hindu group VHP. While claiming that the country would run as per the wishes of the majority, the High Court judge also targeted the minority community, claiming there is no place for triple talaq and that kids were exposed to animal slaughter. He also used slurs, communal slurs, to address the minority community, urging caution against the Muslim community as well in his speech. While opposition leaders have condemned the speech, former CPM MP Brinda Karat has written to the Chief Justice of India demanding action be taken against this High Court judge, calling his remarks an assault on the process of justice.
हमारे यहाँ बच्चा पैदा होता है, बचपन काल से उसको ईश्वर की ओर बढ़ाया जाता है, वेद मंत्र पढ़े जाते हैं, अहिंसा के बारे में ले जाया जाता है, तमाम चीजें बताई जाती हैं। लेकिन आपके साथ आपके यहाँ तो बचपन से बच्चे को सामने रख करके वध किया जाता है पशुओं का, तो आप कैसे अपेक्षा करते हैं कि सहिष्णु होगा वो?
Well, we leave it to the judgment of our viewers to decide whether this justice should actually continue in the Allahabad High Court. Good news story for the day. A house in Haryana's Bahadurgarh is brimming with activity. Why? Well, it's a coaching center for the underprivileged run by Ajay Grewal, a head constable with the Delhi police. This is the story of how real heroes are made.
When the sun goes down, this house in Bahadurgarh, Haryana turns into a coaching center. Classes that begin at 7 p.m. go on till 4 in the morning. The teaching center for the underprivileged is run by Ajay Grewal, a head constable in Delhi police. He has helped more than 3,000 youngsters to get government jobs.
2015 में हमने बच्चों को पढ़ाना शुरू किया और उसी का परिणाम है कि 2015 से और 2024 आ चुका है, जाने वाला है अब तक लगभग 3,000 बच्चे जो है अलग अलग सरकारी पद जो है जैसे CGL, CHSL है, क्लर्क है, दिल्ली पुलिस कांस्टेबल है, हरियाणा पुलिस है, चंडीगढ़ पुलिस और टीचर इत्यादि के पदों पर कार्यरत भी है.
Many of Ajay's students work as security guards or drive bike taxis during the day and prepare for government exams at night.
जो सीखा है सर से ही सीखा है. मैं पहली बार जब दिल्ली पुलिस फेस करने गया तो उस टाइम पे मेरी प्रिपरेशन बिल्कुल नहीं थी, पर सर की जो क्विक रिवीजन की क्लास चलती थी मैंने वो ली. जब पूरे रास्ते में सर की क्लास सुनता गया ट्रेन में, फिर वहां जाके जो मैंने अटेम्प्ट करे मेरे को खुद पे विश्वास नहीं हुआ कि इतनी जल्दी इतना सब कुछ सीखने को मिला, इतने अच्छे से मैंने वो पेपर किया.
जी घर की कंडीशन ठीक नहीं है, इसलिए मेरे को काम करना पड़ता है. मैं इसलिए रैपिडो का काम करता हूँ. दिन में मैं 6-7 घंटे बाइक वगैरह चला लेता हूँ और साथ में कॉलेज वगैरह अटेंड कर लेता हूँ और शाम को मैं भाई के पास आके अपनी UPSC की स्टडीज कंटिन्यू करता हूँ.
Ajay himself has cleared UPSC mains twice, but failed to clear the interview round by just 3 marks.
हमारी मुलाकात जो है मोनिका भारद्वाज हमारी IPS मैडम है, उनके पिताजी देवीदत्त जी से होती है और वहाँ से हमारी UPSC की जर्नी भी शुरू होती है, जो कि 2015 से 2020 तक रहती है, जिसके परिणाम स्वरूप हम फाइनली तो सिलेक्शन नहीं हो पाया और साथ साथ में पर बच्चों को हमने पढ़ाना स्टार्ट कर दिया था कि आज के दौर में बिना मार्गदर्शन जो है कुछ भी चीज संभव नहीं है.
Ajay's classes are also attended by school students.
अब ये बता दीजिए, अब भारत का जो फंडामेंटल राइट है कहाँ से लिया गया है? अमेरिका. शुरुआत में फंडामेंटल राइट कितने थे?
7.
अब कितने हैं?
6.
कौन सा हटा दिया गया है?
राइट टू प्रॉपर्टी.
लोकसभा का सदस्य बनने के लिए कितनी एज चाहिए जो है लोकसभा का?
25.
राज्यसभा का मेंबर बनने के लिए
30
साल जो है. अच्छा, वोट डालने की आयु कितनी है?
18.
पहले कितनी थी?
21
थी.
Ajay Grewal now holds online classes as well. The aim, he says, is to reach kids in villages who might not be able to reach cities for education. With Manish Chaurasia, Bureau Report, India Today.